Welcome on in, ladies and gentlemen. This is the Fairway Files, a brand new golf podcast YouTube show under Three Bold Takes, which is a sports show that covers everything but golf. So if you like golf, stay here. If you don't like golf, go check out Three Bold Takes. We have videos, college football, NFL, NBA, you name it, we got it. I'm joined by Bradley Jackson here. He is my longtime best friend. And we decided to start this new golf podcast / show. We've been wanting to do it for a while, and here we are finally doing it. Bradley, would you like to say something, kind of introduce yourself?
Yeah, like Freddie said, we've been long time best friends. Just got out of the military, so we really haven't been able to do that because I was overseas, and but this has been a long time coming, and I'm excited to be here. I'm excited to do this, and let's jump into it.
So what we have got planned for today is just simply 5 reasons why we love golf. I feel like this will be a good topic for us to kind of dive into as a first video / podcast. So, Bradley, if you want to lead us off with number one on our list, and by the way, we did come up with these all together. Hope you enjoy.
Yeah, this is going to be a joint list for us, which we actually we created two separate lists that had the same reasons. So, you know, but number one for the both of us is going to be camaraderie. It's a really big thing for me. You know, coming out of the military, having that brotherhood. And one of the first questions that I would always ask guys, got new guys to the unit. Hey man, you play golf? And that's how I built a lot of my relationships through golf. Two of my closest friends in South Korea, Josh and Ammo. Shout out to you guys, they're supporters. But yeah, I mean that's one of the biggest ways that I built my relationships, and one of the big ways Freddie and I built our friendship and relationship over the years was through the game of golf. So
Yeah, kind of piggybacking off of that, we do have an actual YouTube channel where we post golf videos, course vlogs, club reviews, all that nature, called FM Golf. So go subscribe to there if you haven't already. But now that we've gotten that out of the way, yeah, man, I totally agree. The relationship aspect of golf is one of the things that I love the most. And I wanted to bring this up, and Tiger Woods was the kind of the pioneer in the golf game in bridging the race gap. I know that golf is primarily a rich white person sport, and Tiger completely changed that. For those of you that don't know, he won the Masters, his very first Masters, and he couldn't even be a member there because he was black, and that's just ridiculous. And I'm so glad now that because of that, black, white, Asian, green, red, it doesn't matter. You can all play the game of golf, and relationships that are built on the golf course are some of the strongest because of our fifth and final reason, which we will get to later. But yeah, like, the relationships are just amazing. So that's number one. And number two is the outdoors and the scenery. Golf courses are beautiful. We'll just say it like that. The majority of your golf courses are beautiful, and it's one of the few sports that you actually play on something that God created in its natural habitat. Like, if you play football, yeah, you're playing on grass, cool, but you have a massive stadium behind you, around you. Like, that is like person and like created for the experience. But golf is so different, to where they form the course around what's already there. They don't just build something from the ground up. And I love the outdoors, and I've seen some beautiful scenery and landscapes I probably never would have seen if it wasn't on a golf course.
yeah, that's a great point. And I think it's just good for as a whole, just getting outside, um, getting some of that vitamin D, getting a little sunburn, getting out there, and you know, it's great exercise. I think that's the big problem with today's generation is we're all just, stuck inside on our phones watching Netflix. Especially during COVID, when stay inside. But golf was one of the few sports that you
That's
know
right.
COVID or not, you can go out there and you can play by yourself, or you can socially distance with three other people. But yeah, that's just getting outdoors and seeing God's creation is a really big point for us. Number three, our third reason that we love golf is going to be the competition. Um, and this is kind of a two-parter, but it's scrambles. I'm a really big golf scramble guy. I love playing in scrambles. They're my mini majors. For a 10 handicap who will never be on the tour or anything. Man, I love playing in scrambles. They're so fun. And then on the flip side of that, watching competition golf, and one of my favorite memories going down to the Players Championship and watching actual professional golfers play. There's just nothing like it, man. I mean, sitting at hole 17 at TPC Sawgrass, you know,
It was a
thinking
vibe.
I thinking I could do it, but knowing, darn well I missed that green by a mile. But yeah, that's definitely my third reason why I love golf is just both sides of the competition. So
Yeah, and I know you touched on the scrambles, and I love scrambles too, but I like I like stroke play events. Me personally, like there's nothing like going out there with your buddies, and that's another thing about golf is you have handicaps. So even somebody like Bradley that's like a 10 handicap, and I'm a 5 handicap, we can still enjoy a competitive game through the handicaps. So we could go out there and I don't condone this, but play $1 a hole and have some fun. Like those are things that as you get older, there's not really many sports or things you can do that involve competition. I know whenever we were younger, we played basketball, baseball, football, like all these different sports. And as you get older, your body starts to break down, so you can't really do that anymore. Um, but golf is one of the few sports and games that you can play until you're 95, um, if you're physically able. And because of that, you can have competition up until that point. And I just love it. Like there's nothing like hitting a long putt and celebrating, or especially in a scramble. You end up winning a scramble and win a trophy, and things like that. So I definitely agree that competition is one of the better ones. Um, Number four here, and this is kind of controversial, I would say, because some people hate this, but it's the drive to get better. Golf is a sport that you can never, um, master. You look at Tiger, as dominant as he was. I know we keep bringing up Tiger, but he's the GOAT to me. Um, Even as good as he was, he didn't have the game mastered. He still lost tournaments. He still hit bad shots. And that to me is something that makes me want to get better. Because I know it can't be mastered, but I want to see how close I can get to perfection as possible. Um, and so like the practice behind that is fun sometimes, but sometimes you have to grind, and it's you got to keep in mind that you're shooting for a target score rather than being on tour. So, it just adds a little bit to it. But I'd love to hear kind of your thoughts on the drive.
yeah, I agree. You know, when I have debates with coworkers or friends about oh well, golf's the hardest sport to play, and the reason why is you can have a perfect game in a game of baseball. You can throw a no hitter, no walks. That's considered a perfect game. Or you can go, 7 for 7 in a basketball game with no turnovers. That could be considered, a perfect game. No one is going to hit 18 fairways and 18 greens and shoot under par. It's never been done in the history of golf, nor will it ever, because, like you said, it is an unmasterable game. You cannot master the game of golf. You cannot have a perfect round. I mean, you could, but it's never been done before, nor do I think it will ever be done, just because it's so, you know, comes down to the micro details in your game of golf. You know, if you're a millimeter off on your swing, you know, if you it could be, you know, consequential. And then again, I love going to the driving range. I'm a very firm believer in, you won't get better by not practicing. You know what I mean? So, golf's a game that'll humble you. Um, you can have the perfect driving range warm up, and then you can go out there and shoot your worst score ever.
Yeah.
And so, or you can have the worst warm up ever and go out there and shoot a career low. Golf is just
That's typically what happens to me. I'll have a horrible warm up and then I'll play well on the range, or on the course, which is just ridiculous.
yeah, vice versa for me. I'll be flushing my irons on the driving range, and then, but yeah, that brings us to our fifth point, and our fifth reason why we love the game of golf is the life lessons that it teaches you. Um, Golf is a gentleman's sport. Anytime anyone ever tries to describe golf, that's pretty much the key phrase. It's a gentleman's sport. You got to have integrity. You got to be accountable. I know everyone talks about having a breakfast ball. I do it. Probably 99% of golfers that aren't on the PGA Tour do it. But, you know, it's about being honest and, not taking mulligans, and which correlates to your life. You know what I mean? Like, you got to, have an integrity in your everyday life, being honest with your spouse, your friends, and then just being accountable in life, with your job, with your kids, your family. Um, but what would you say? Who would you caveat off of that?
I mean, I think you kind of hit the nail right on the head. It's all about being honest, and that's something that makes golf unique. Is you can go out and play by yourself. Even in tennis, like tennis and competition is a 1v1 sport, but you have that other person you're playing against, so you have to be honest. Any other sport, I can't think of a single one. Maybe racquetball, that is just literally you. So like you have to be honest, and that's something that is difficult for a lot of people, and it's something that is taught to a lot of people. Now you mentioned integrity and honesty and respect also. Whenever your partner, whoever's hitting, you need to be quiet. Like those are some simple things that are out of respect for one another. Take your hat off at the end of the round and shake the person's hand. Like those types of things teach you to respect others, and respect others as honesty. I do think that being honest in today's generation has gone by the wayside. Everybody is so quick to tell a lie and then backtrack later, and it's like it's just not good. Like honesty needs to be praised, and anybody that is very honest is genuinely a good person 9 times out of 10. It's a good judge of character. So I would agree with that. And those are our 5. We had more. I think I had a list of 10. Some, we decided to chip away because it wasn't that, imperative per se. But let us know what you think. What would be your 5, or what would be your number 1 reason why you love golf and why you play the game of golf? If you're watching this, you're probably a golfer. Why do you play golf? Why do you get up on a Saturday morning before you would get up to go to work, earlier than you'd get up to go to work, and go play golf? Let us know. Bradley, anything else you'd like to say, bud?
No, man. that pretty much wraps it up. I think you hit the nail on the head. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned. This is going to be a regular thing for us. It's super easy. It's way easier than running a golf channel, because we can do this from the comfort of our homes.
That's
So,
right.
so just be expecting more content, and let us know if you guys have any content that you'd like to see or you'd like us to discuss. We do have maybe a PGA versus Live debate coming up in the future. So
Uh oh.
yeah,